For 2023, we didn't need to change the motorcycle too much. I mean, it's easy to see when a rider gets really comfortable, the last thing you want to do is change anything on the motorcycle. We had some things that we were able to develop throughout last year that we didn't want to race with. We wanted to put more time on those components, and some of those things we're racing with this year. But overall, the motorcycle is extremely similar. I think with any new motorcycle, the feedback that you want to get is from the rider. I mean, Wilson Todd's 6 foot, Brody Conley's 5'9", Kyle Webster's 5'7". So every rider's different, every rider's looking for something different in the motorcycle. The first thing that you do is obviously test a production bike, get feedback on both the motor and the chassis. The first thing you generally work on is the chassis. There's no use working too much on the chassis whilst not developing the motor, because if you're changing the characteristics of the motor, it's going to change the way the bike feels and handles and drives, and under braking, under deacceleration, how the bike dives. So we try and balance what we do with the bike, but basically it's with the feedback we get from the rider. We share the information, it's one team. We're able to do more testing in America because we're racing more often, and there's a lot of difference though, because the fuel they're allowed to run there compared to the fuel we can run here is vastly different. Oxygen levels are extremely different, and that makes a difference to what we can do with the motor. The biggest things that we learn is the time we get to spend on the components we use with the more riders that we've got at the level that they are. So whether it's a linkage, whether it's a triple clamp, whether it's the hydraulic clutch that we're using on the 250, we're able to collect a lot of data from a multiple of riders, and that makes a difference to us trusting using the product, and to getting some consistency with the messaging we're getting from the riders. If you do your job properly and you get the rider comfortable, whether it's Wilson, Todd, it doesn't matter which rider it is, there's very little change required. You really want to get the rider comfortable as quickly as you can, and some take longer than others, and sometimes when you employ a new rider and they've come from a different brand of motorcycle, which feels extremely different, you have to spend more time with them. But with Wilson, it's been quite easy. Even the transition last year when he went from the 250 to the 450 for the last couple of rounds, we didn't have to make much change whatsoever.